guys, it's Daniel Richardson.
Dylan Schumacher.
Citadel Defense. Today we're talking about why you should take a training class.
So when I first shot a handgun, this was probably like a decade ago, maybe longer. Yeah, probably a little longer. I went to a range here where you could rent a handgun. Went with a buddy of mine who was a couple years older than me. We both knew nothing about shooting guns. We knew enough not to point them at somebody, but we really didn't know anything. And we rented a Springfield XD for whatever reason. I think it just looked cool at the time. And I was a 9. Got out to the little shooting bay. You know, you're stuck in this little shooting lane, right? And we got the box of bullets out that we bought there in the magazine, and put the bullets in the magazine, and tried to insert the magazine. And about that time when we figured out the bullets were loaded in backwards. And then we proceeded to shoot. We shot Weaver stance, because, you know, which is fine if that's how you pretend to shoot, but I've moved on. And that was it. I remember we had fun. But the point is, we just did not know anything, right? We just didn't know what we were doing. And if I would have continued to go down that path of just shooting guns and not learning anything, at some point you become a safety hazard, because you just don't know. Now, some things you're going to figure out just a matter of course, right? Like which way the bullets go. But by and large, you can go shooting for 10, 20 years and not really know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to avoid that. We want to get to you as early as possible, as early in your shooting cycle as possible, to help you get good habits to build on over the long haul of your life.
And that's just the thing, too. Habits are very easy to build and very hard to break.
Yep.
So go to a training class, build good habits as soon as possible. And if, you've been shooting for a decade already and you haven't put a lot of work into it, or you have put a lot of work into it, either way, you should take a class so that some instructors can check on your habits, police you, help you learn how to grow where your weakness lies, and help you become more proficient. And that's something that everybody needs. Dylan and I police each other all the time.
Yep.
We have friends that police us. We police our friends, because you need people watching you and seeing where your weaknesses are. Because a lot of the time it's not something you can see yourself. And the goal for all of us is to police ourselves more and more, but you need that from somebody.
Yeah.
So whatever
somebody who knows what they're doing.
Right. And whatever stage you're at, whether you're a beginner building brand new habits, or you're someone who has been shooting for a long time and feel like you have some good solid habits, you should be taking a training class.
Yep.
I'm going to move on in a different direction.
No, go ahead. Go. No, go.
So, a thing that's been on my mind a lot lately, especially with just this whole gun culture and people's philosophy and ideology around guns, is knowledge is power. And there's a lot of people out there in whatever sector we're talking about, but in this one specifically, guns, who have an opinion on something and have an idea about how something is, but they know nothing about it. And that leaves you completely unqualified to really have a legit opinion in that arena. And so, especially with all this thinking about guns lately, I think whether you hate guns or love guns, if you don't know a lot about them, you should go take a class, because you are going to learn something, and if it doesn't change your opinion, it's going to help you have a more well-formed opinion about something. For example, and this is kind of a stupid one, but I was listening to a podcast. I listen to tons of podcasts. I love them. They're phenomenal. This last week, I'm not going to mention which one it was, but the casters were talking about police violence, and they were talking about how stupid it is that police don't just shoot people in the knee or the arm or something like that. And
I'm laughing in case you don't know, because that you can't just do that. That's
right.
Not,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
You can't just shoot people in the knee.
Right. And if you
also, if you did, they'll never walk again, like the same way again. If they'll walk, No, sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, you have arteries in your legs, that you can die from. Anyway, just listening to them, especially have very strong opinions on gun control. It was irritating, because I was like, if you came and took one class of ours, it would immediately change your opinion. You could have maybe not change your opinion, but it would give you knowledge, and knowledge is power, and you could have a more well-formed opinion. So again, training courses are for everyone. You're gonna come, you're gonna learn something. It's going to empower you in one way or another.
So on that note, if you don't like guns and you're willing to be respectful and learn, we want you in our gun class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. If you think that the Second Amendment exists for militia only and it's not an individual right, which is trash for a variety of reasons, but you're willing to be respectful and you're willing to come learn, we want you in our gun class.
Yeah.
We want anyone there who's willing to learn. I don't care where you're at on the political spectrum.
And where you end at
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, because we genuinely believe that if you're equipped with some knowledge, it's going to help you have an informed opinion about the matter, which is worth something versus people who don't know anything.
And ultimately, I would even say knowledge will lead you to the right opinion.
And the truth will set you free.
Yes.
As Jesus says.
Yes.
Okay. So that's why you should come take a shooting class.
Yeah. So there's the practical, like we
Yep.
started off with. There's the practical, using your gun, and then the knowledge.
Yep.
Right? So.
We'd love to have you guys. Come shoot with us. We're going to have a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, do brave deeds, and endure.